This is so risky. Oh, King, and okay. It's super risky, but it is going to be able to get through the CC. So I like this much more than the Aatrox. And you know, as a person who generally likes meta picks and more classic picks and usually is a little bit worried when I see a pick like this, I like it because it can just simply break through Sejuani ult, Varus ult, Ashe arrow, and get on top of the backline guaranteed for that follow-up with the Rakan, for the follow-up with the Sylas, can follow up on those CCs as well.
Top laner who plays mid. Oh, it's a nightmare. Let's jump into game one. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The switcheroo has occurred as Kate from home at this point in time, as they know that this could potentially happen. So Showmaker coming down towards the bottom side, gives him the good old thumbs up and says thank you very much.
He'll take the first blood. That's 400 gold to the Sylas. Kellen, still have to play respectfully. One missed engage. You play too close to the sun. Oh, hold that thought.
Yeah, speaking of missed engages and too close to the sun and stuff like that, that's Permafrost, that's Backlit, and that is Keen getting first, second blood.
And this is exactly what I mentioned earlier when I was like, yeah, it's a rare matchup. You know, it starts off a little rough for Keen, but
this one, however, they have a ward. They can actually move on over, and Canyon has the Arctic Assault. Still, not going to be able to contest. Go down very close to the second, and the Sejuani remains in the brush. Goes home now. And it's as if he was never there. As Keen, he's really dead. That's Kingen getting his revenge here towards the top side of the map. Both of them, 1-1 and 0.
Burn through turrets as they're holding onto this pressure here, bottom side. And I gotta say, this is a lot of gold stacked up for Isaiah early on. That's gonna go wide.
Yep, the arrow gonna pick the middle there as the Magnet Storm comes out. Pays cleanse, flashes, tries to get himself out of this, but it's just not going to work. It is not gonna be enough. And Lucid was tanking the turret for as long as possible, and Chovy, he's teleported in. Now he's ghosted. He's so incredibly fast. I think Lucid might be falling down here. Can the rest of D+ make it out? Because Canyon's moving over and aiming. Yeah, there's a fadeaway jump shot if ever I've seen one, and he's clapped by Chovy here. A couple of kills for the mid laner.
A ton of money that you shouldn't really be able to get at this stage of the game.
There's a flash chains of corruption. Pays,
bye-bye.
Yeah, he's really dead. Okay, Showmaker. That is such
400 picked up there for Showmaker.
And he could have just gone for the ult.
Yeah,
but no, he's flashing. He's making sure that is going to hit, and he is getting that kill. And Kellen, pretty happy with how his mid laner is playing. This is 3 games in a row that we're seeing some peak Showmaker, as Drake is going to be secured by Ashe somehow. That's going to be an all-out here by Chovy as he dives into the backline. Keen, also massive at aiming. He's splashed the wall. Keen is in trouble, and the Zaya is picking up a kill. And now Chovy has 4 people to deal with, and that is just a few too many.
5v4 game, if we can't see Pays get some sort of value here, we'll be able to get this turret.
Yep, that's
game. Teleport commitment here.
Yeah, now Lucid is going to find Keen on the retreat. He does still have Shroud. Let's see whether he can use it. Really nice movement. Look at that. Keen just bobs and weaves.
Yeah, that's the turret going down top side. A lot of farm going to be lost. And teleport committed here.
Oh, and an arrow around this Drake. Yes, Gen G control the river for now, but D+ know exactly what's going on.
King in on this side.
Yeah, Keen gonna get dove on. He got away the first time. He may not be able to this time, as the backflip does get him out of there. But now the flash on forward. It is going to be the return kill, but they'll take the kill on the Akali any day of the week. And Kingen is not done. Lahen's nowhere to go. Olaf, of course, just does not care about Ashe in any way. And he will continue chasing. Now Chovy having to run away from this Olaf. Avoiding the undertows is important, but look at this. Pays, what's he going to be able to do here as Canyon's trying to stand in his way, trying to be that front line. As I think if you're by yourself, Kingen, you may not necessarily win this fight, but Showmaker's going to turn up. Lucid's going to be there. All Out does come in, and aiming's going to help out as well. So Chovy, once again, going to be taken down.
Yeah, this might be the backbreaker here for Gen G. They had Cryo, but they had...
This is, you know, the straws are starting to stack up, and the camel's back is certainly bending. As Chovy going to look to try and take his blue buff, and he's still massively ahead when it comes to farm. It has just been such an incredible return to form. It's amazing, and like you were talking about, you know, he wasn't in the conversation prior. Now, though, I may have cast a curse him because his top laner has just been taken down. Teleport from Keen as well. They don't have many places to go. Let's see whether Showmaker can do anything to help out here. 4 versus 5. They have softened them up a little bit. But Gen G, they are on the prowl. D+ just looking for a way out of this one. Look at this. They're hurting them. They're corralling them.
It's going to have to be an incredible play here from Lucid to try to trade a pick back. It's going to be so rough.
There is still a fair bit of CC here. Aiming doesn't have Featherstorm, though. There's the Magnastorm. They get on top of Pace. He takes so much damage, and Showmaker locks him down. Now Kellen's trying to keep them in position, but it's Keen with the perfect execution. And Showmaker, he has his. That's going to take down Chovy. And now Showmaker and Lucid, they are dangerous. So 2 versus a lot of struggles, especially towards the end of last year. Good to see him having some aggressive performances. So evening out the Dragons.
The goal ultimately for Gen G. And, you know, finally we're getting close to,
Okay, well, aiming is going to have Chovy delivered to him. There's the all-out. Does manage to pick the right target as Lucid crashing down. Hence taking a lot of damage as well as Kingan's trying to return the favor. Let's check out what Chovy's doing as we jump back to that part of this particular play. And now Kingan, he's continuing to run. Look at these ghosty boys pressing their summoner spells and trying to run as quickly as possible. Oh no, it's a wall. It's Olaf's worst enemy, but now there's a hole in it. He's able to get on over as Chovy's trying to mitigate this, and he does so beautifully. There's the chain CC, and Gen G are looking to turn it. Showmaker, though, he is still massive. Chains of Corruption land, and more chains come down as well. Aiming locks down that kill in the end as the arrow connects onto Showmaker. There's a McHale's for that, and D+ have lost no one. The flash forward from Showmaker, the backflip is there, and he sees blood in the water now. D+ looking to chase them down.
To eventually get some vision in there as you see Kingan rotating over.
All right, Kellen looking for Lehens. Does find him here with the grand entrance. Over goes Canyon, though. And the Ragnarok has to be used defensively. Chovy has found aiming, or has the entirety of D+ found Chovy. He goes all out, but he needs to just get out. And he's not going to be able to. Once again, Chovy with a little bit of an overextend here.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, not to mention Olaf and Silas doing their fair share of work as well. So it's down very, very low. They're not wanting to take any chances, though. The hijacked prison is thrown at Canyon. And Lucid, he comes back. They are able to secure it. He can't get far enough into the pit and does have to flash to get himself away. The health bars are low, though, and Gen G think that this is an opportunity. Let's see whether they can pick up any stragglers. But Kellen, he's not a straggler. Probably getting closer and closer to Edge of 9, where perhaps he can start to do. They can actually extend this Red Bull Baron power play. It's already up to about 1,800, or getting there. We'll crest it now that this inner turret does fall down. So, D+, the last few seconds of their Baron, where they really start making that money, as you can see, moving up to 3K.
They wanted to get an inhibitor, though, and they just are unable to do so. Now committing 4 here to top.
Yeah, Canyon trying to be that front line to try and defend. And Chovy, he's in the bottom lane, so he is not able to frontline for them. So that inhibitor that you were talking about is going to be secured. There's a little bit back here for Gen G.
And I think that, frankly, if anyone's trying to D+ have their eyes on here, Kellen's just going to rejoin the squad. They have choke points controlled.
Yep, and Gen G understands that they can't let this Baron go over. They are sacrificing their base for this one, and Showmaker's looking for that backline. Pays! Oh my goodness, he stays alive! Showmaker has to go over the wall as now Keen is looking for it, and now Chovy's in that front. Oh my goodness, he's melting. He's evaporating, and Keen is gonna follow suit. It's aiming now, as they were so focused on Showmaker that this Zaya really has become a problem, and I think this is just game over. The Ragnarok coming on through, and the undertows coming down. I think that Kingan will let them live, but Showmaker may not, and aiming definitely will not. That's an unofficial quadra as he gets the double kill in the enemy base, and D+. I don't think many of us were expecting them to win, but I was definitely not expecting them to win like this.
This is really a hit for me. It is Showmaker, and he is, one of our best Syndras, if not our best, historically speaking, here in the LCK. But, there is a lot of pressure you're going to have. Like, basically, the composition here for D+ doesn't have that much longevity if it falls behind. The Lucian is going to struggle out of lane if he doesn't have an advantage, if he doesn't get the really big spikes in mid-game, with the double support item we'll see likely built.
Point across. It is time to jump onto the Rift here for game number 2 for our Saturday Showdown.
세상사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
D+ fans very loud. The Gen G fans also erupting. It's pretty full house.
Well, this is one way to force gold into the hands of the Lucian, is just completely 4-man dive this. Syndra coming down too.
Yeah, Tidal Wave is going to connect onto Pace. Great crash down, gets both of them, and first blood goes to Lucid. There's another one as somehow Syndra
little bit less Genji, who ends up in the interim taking this first dragon. It's just simply an ocean dragon, so not a
Maokai.
If this is Mountain Soul or Infernal Soul, you are feeling really good about it.
Oh, it's actually another Chemtech.
Rip. Never mind.
And all of them
in team fights, right? And now that it's Chemtech Soul again, you don't feel great about that because that's not one that Genji necessarily have to fight for with a too relevant Drake lead here. They can just simply sit back and let Jace become relevant. They can sit back and say, all right, well, we're going to put Udyr aside, push Kingen out. Kingen had to itemize into Merc Treads. It's not going to be very useful into in these upcoming fights. And again, Genji could just walk away from this next Drake fight if it doesn't look good for them.
And we're not entirely sure what happened, but whatever it was fixed, as that scout of the week was really well split. It's not really going to be that meaningful, as there's a Magnet Storm, but not a lot of follow-up here as Lucid, a little bit disconnected, not a lot of buttons available. He does manage to flash his way out, and now Kingen is making his way in. That's the flash forward. Canyon going to be the first one to go down. I have no idea how it worked, Lucid, but it did. Just in better places on the map. Yeah, they're just showing that these fundamentals that we know is just
him. And then it's a 5v4 fight, so the timing of Kingen's entry is so critical.
Well, there's a scatter. Yeah, it's going to connect onto Pace. Darksphere coming down there as well, as Kane is moving forward. The Nature's Grasp did connect there onto Lucid, and they take him down. Oftentimes engaging onto the tank doesn't work. This time, though, there's no response.
If Kingen is on top of Pace, and that's another dragon going over to Genji, I think the sun is setting very quickly here for D+ on this composition if they just can't.
Really mitigate any sort of ability to get that dive to work. And there's a culling. Pace actually taking a lot of damage here. I guess ask and you shall receive is how that one works. Great scatter is going to come down here as Lands just pops like a balloon. The power is unleashed, and this time Showmaker finds his mark. Nicely done, and D+ moved back from Pace. It's just starting to get to be too much. Has the window closed is the question. Let's see whether Lucid can let us know one way or the other. Can you find the Magnet Storm as Keen taking a fair bit of damage, but there's the Moonlight Vigil. Nature's Grasp comes through as well. Kingen back at full health, and that is going to be the first kill of the fight. And D+ have found it. The Drake goes over, but Genji are lying on the floor. It's Pace and Lahans against the world now.
That was so close, that fight. It was on a knife.
Saw that one, Wolf. I think you're right.
And now they got Baron. That's a ton of money. First objective to get essentially for the whole game is a lot of time on this Baron lost from that play. They'll still get the turret, but they could have gotten more.
And still, there are orbs being thrown around, rip-offs being thrown around as well, as that is global, remember, so that will go over to D+. Kind of meaningful, stealing away these buffs, denying that from Genji is Keen, moving towards his bottom side. That is dangerous, though. He's ganked by aiming. Down to 50%. He's very tanky, but I don't think he's tanky enough. And there's, oh, the Moonlight Vigil will connect, but the Udyr is still dead. And that means the D+ can continue this onslaught. Another 35 seconds on this.
It may look silly watching Lucid do this, but I think it's 100% worth. And now they're even going to push down this turret.
Yeah, should be able to break open the base in the first place this game. Genji just wanting to find that opportune angle as aiming. He thinks that he's found one, but the Moonlight Vigil, oh, it's going to be avoided. Pay's in trouble, but he is still kept alive, at least for the moment, as Keen is launched into the backline. Showmaker goes golden, but can he survive is the question. Genji, they're so low D+. They also don't have the biggest of health bars. I mean, but no one's dead.
All ults down here. It's really hard to chase down these Genji members. D+ have the health advantage here, but in the longer exchange here, Genji will get advantage. Chovy has teleport. He can come back to this fight.
Same thing for Showmaker. He's also immediately teleporting back in as Lucid aggressive onto Chovy here. The rest of the team, though, coming on in. You can see Keen. He has replenished that health bar, and now he's looking for Showmaker. Showmaker in a little bit of trouble here, and yeah, Kingen, oh dear, he just pops. The first one caught out of position, and Genji have been hunting this entire time for someone to put their foot out. It's Kingen that does so.
Aiming just can't hit people, but Chovy, he can hit people for days. He's got Shock Blast on such a low cooldown, he's going to constantly Q until D+ get pushed away. They need a decisive engage. They need Lucid's ultimate. They need Showmaker to hit a big scatter, or this is just going to be Genji's game.
Or they can just kill the Nexus.
Ooh, tricky play here.
That's a move, as Lucid is going to be spotted by the sapling. Remember, he is Rel. He has Hex Flash. He can try and get over as Showmaker. Unleash power onto Keen. Good scatter onto Lahans as Lucid's got in there, but immediately he goes down. Aiming, though, he's in the base. And they know that there is no one on that fountain. Paze is going to go back. It is an exposed Nexus, but Pays is going to be enough
And with
to stop
Elder-
D+ from ending the game.
Yeah, with Elder, aiming is not long for this world. If he gets caught here, he actually
that was
avoids.
cute.
Yeah, he avoids Keen here. Now he's gonna just have to hope for a back. See
Oh my
if
god.
he gets away with it.
Is he going to... Okay, he's looking for the kill onto Lehens. Pays, Moonlight Vigil does connect, and Lehens stays alive.
I mean, you could just see the moment when Chovy, and they got that first kill, and Chovy had control there on the Drake where D+ just basically surrendered. They were like, we push Nexus or we lose game. They didn't even put up a fight after that, and now
They had
with
to make the
Elder,
call, yeah.
with Elder and Baron to make the Exodia with these respawns, if Gen.G don't end outright before they take Baron here, I feel like this game is all over. But the Cryon, as I love to say here at the LCK, I mean, they get one more chance on the Baron contest here. They defended the inhibitors, but it is going to be a long, long road to come back at this one with aiming still not up for 15, and Gen.G's damage at 37 minutes.
So really nice decision making here from Gen.G. And they are now going to break open the base in the mid lane as well. The first inhibitor of the game, sorry, second inhibitor of the game is going to go down. It looks like D+ a running jungler. Nice work there from Showmaker, but still Gen.G. They are so scary, aiming, trying to get damage onto Keen, but he is committed. He is committed to this play. As Keen will find him. And so now the thumbs up does come through. Oh no, it's a wall. It's a small wall. That is Udia's worst enemy, as Kingen is just going to keep walking. You need to use that to go over walls, Kingen.
They are
have
running out of
another one
time.
of them back available. He gets over another small wall.
They got to push on somebody. If Kingen just dies, that's the end. They're trying to push mid. Maybe they can rush this down.
GA. It might take a fair bit of time. As you can see, Pays, he's elected to try and go back because D+, they are now trying to move in and just win the game. Let's see whether they can do so here as Lucid does have that Magnus Storm running. Showmaker finds himself the ultimate, but the turret is doing so much damage here. Yeah, I don't know about this one, D+. It's not going to work out. It was a cute little plan, but Gen.G, they just collapsed too quickly. Oh, Kingen, okay. Oh, is this it? Is this the plan? Maybe they've forgotten about little old Aatrox?
I don't think that. I don't think he's getting in on it. No way.
Oh, he was spotted. He was spotted.
Canyon says no.
He
Speeds up.
does. He walks relatively quickly, but there is a smite there. Let's see how far through this Nexus he can get. As he does get a knock up, but Pays, he comes back and puts a chakram in the back of his head. And the rest of Gen.G are getting the work done. Chovy's not going to waste too much time. And do you know what this means? This is the beautiful thing. It means we
A lot less weight on him, and it will just be the Rumble to come through. Honestly, for the first time in this best of 3, I walk out of the draft feeling like D+ really got a pretty clear win. In my mind, when you have the oppressive Varus Ashe lane in the bottom lane, you have safe Azir mid, you're going to have great lockdown to both peel for the Varus, but also set up for the Varus.
They opted in for an early Tristana. They let things go that could have been good. See what they were thinking as we jump into game 3.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
And the main thing on my mind is the fact that there was no Silas. And it's still...
He is. I don't know if he cares, as this pressure is still very real.
I think perhaps Kingen cares because Keen has killed him. That's a solo kill once again. Oh, Kingen really not having a great week.
And I've worn him down as Chovy to get out.
He does have rocket jump. Canyon gonna make his way in here as aiming completely out of mana. As Pays, he's got a barrier, now he's got a kill. Aiming might be able to survive this, as he does get back to the proximity of his turret.
To leave, or you will die. Lucid has 6 now, by the way, and that health bar is low. Oh,
Yeah.
no!
Flash Twisted Advance comes in, Pays, oh, he's just taken out. And Lucid, he hit level 6 and immediately puts that thing on cooldown.
Yeah. Brush. And ult there just for good measure, but probably not even required, to be honest.
Well, Canyon more susceptible now, though. Showmaker's moving in, but Canyon, he's welcoming him with a prison of his own, and Chovy's going to pick it up with a buster shot now. The Nature's Grasp in this bottom side. Aiming, taking a fair bit of culling damage, and Lehens is able to keep Lucid at bay. That fire kick working so nicely, and they do...
Fight if they do go for the contest, but he's just so split, and Chovy is so...
Whoa, that's an equalizer, and they're going to get a flash from Lucid, and immediately Keen's flashing after him. Is that the Huni request amount of aggression there? As all right, there's a fade away from Canyon. Kellen is just going to get culled. That will be the Cloud Soul announcement, and Gen G erupting onto the Rift alongside it. 4-1. The kill score now approaching a 3,000 gold lead. Earth, Wind, and Fire is aiming. Does have to flash.
Well timed on the flash to get out, but I mean, this is everything on lock again for Gen G. Is Keen?
Yeah, he doesn't have Equalizer, so I guess there's that. Teleport's coming down from everyone as Lucid will run the Nature's Grasp forward. They're looking for the Rumble. They'll get that kill first. Chovy not able to answer back because there could be a Herald fight as Lucid can move on over. Arrow will connect onto the Melio. Glacial Prison down as well, but immediately Canyon is pushed back by that Bramble Smash. The Herald lost interest in this fight completely, and now Kingen, he flashes on top of an Equalizer. The culling coming through as well, and he knows that he's going to be taken down, although did make use of that Lance pretty effective, and how that one is supposed to work. But can Lucid and Showmaker survive this? As the Rift Herald will come up, and Canyon is going to crash it into the turret. Chovy just getting to work, making sure that he removes that structure, as Lucid will try to follow his Nature's Grasp out, and instead is just going to die.
And this is a moment where you got to know that turret is dead, and you got to...
Whoa! Drifting!
Wow. Speaking of dead, worth and instantly deleting the inner, that's not normal.
Yeah, it's nice that it's just Canyon. He's riding solo this time around. They don't
block in terms of where his scaling is supposed to be.
Yeah, and also that range thing that we're talking about, he's ahead of the clock on that one as well.
All of the risks in this composition. Like, because they got so ahead, because they hit all of the benchmarks, there's no longer a, but if Showmaker is a little bit closer and Chovy's a little bit further away, you know, maybe you go in on that.
That's an Equalizer. Kingen takes a walk down the red carpet as Canyon walks over a ward, but I think Kingen kind of knows what his fate is here. Infernal Chains will connect. As he goes into the sky, the Glacial Prison does come down, and he's still alive. And now Kingen, with some Alcove Gaming, it's not going to work out for him, and Showmaker collects.
Yeah, +1 need.
Yeah, it's not quite enough in itself. But, like you say, correct move forward, and if they are able to just explode Chovy, then there are some options here. Pays is still another threat, as we can see right here. Lucid has to flash, but the Flame Spitter is still coming out the culling there as well, and Pays, he does not miss. Thankfully, you can see Showmaker able to get out.
Even committed here to just try to defend this turret. They could just rotate over to mid and stop aiming from getting this one. It's just healthy enough. Okay, Kingen's here. Maybe they actually do get this one and get out, but still, huge win here for Gen G. Just denying a Baron just simply off of catching Lucid there in the jungle. No help.
Saplings have so many options, but unfortunately, even if they can see what Gen G is doing, I believe he's here today on the desk with Helios.
Yeah, I believe so. Well, that's another turret down, and this Tristana.
Thank you. That's sort of the sweet spot of items for the tanks, as Lucid once again, oh no, having to walk over this Equalizer. The culling comes through. Keen's the one that locks down that kill in the end. Kellen's burning as well, and oh my goodness, the amount of damage that Gen G are putting down, and they are not stopping. They turn this into a siege on this inner turret, and man, it feels like game number 1 from D+ is so far in the past now. Gen G with all of the control. Had to be a reverse sweep, but man, they made this last one look very convincing. Kingen? Yeah, Keen is actually going to get pulled back, but it is a really good Glacial Prison to stop Kingen from doing too much more. He's able to take a fair bit of damage, but not quite enough. He gets Buster Shotted away, and that is actually to his benefit. It was a guarantee as well. Lehens would not hold back. He would definitely not hold back.
We've had some good comms with Lehens talking to me.
Oh, yeah. As, all right, Kingen does knock him up. Finds an Infernal Chains. In comes Canyon once again, but there's the Flash Twisted event.
Lucid?
Have they found him? As Pays, he just gets all of the buttons. Lucid went forward, but immediately he is dead, and now Chovy is the one playing Mario, and he's dodging all of them. The Goombas could not find him, and he's able to now take down a Sundisk. He's back to doing what he really wants to do. Showmaker a fair bit of auto-attack damage, but it's not going to quite be enough. Him and aiming do get through Keen, but that is the only reward that they will find.
Yeah, Showmaker hands off the keyboard, having a bit of a giggle. I think they know this is the beginning of the end of this game, the push to kill the Nexus.
I do like the thumbs up from aiming, saying, Lehens, don't you miss me? And he doesn't even hit him with the piercing arrow. That is very kind to his ex-teammate. And Pays and Chovy will now finish off this game as the arrow sails by gloriously into the distance. And Chovy is going to melt Kellen. He's almost distracted enough by getting the kill onto Lucid here to not kill the Nexus, but He's back to doing what he needs to do, and there it is. Gen G